Hello and welcome back to this course. In the previous session we have discussed about the operators and its types. Now in this session we are going to discuss about the decision control structures. So let's start. We all need to alter our action in the face of changing circumstances. Like if the weather is fine, then I'll go for a stroll. If the highway is busy, I would take a diversion. If C says no, I would look elsewhere. If the pitch takes spin, we would win the match, and so on. Now, by default, the instruction in a program are executed sequentially, right? We don't have to do anything. In serious programming situation, seldom do we want the instructions to be executed sequentially. Many a times we want a set of instructions to be executed in one situation and an entirely different set of instruction to be executed in another situation. This kind of situation is dealt in C programming using a decision control instruction. Now a decision control instructions can be implemented in C using if statement, if else statement and conditional operators. Now how these are used we'll discuss in this session. So let's start with if statement. This is the syntax if and a condition enclosed in a parenthesis that will be an expression that evaluates to true or false. Depending upon the output of this condition, these statements can be executed. So in this condition, if the statement returns true, then this particular branch of code will be executed as indicated by green color. Okay, that is true branch, and this is executed if the condition is true. The keyword if tells the compiler that what if follows is a decision control instruction, and the condition followed by the keyword if is always enclosed within a pair of parentheses. If the condition, whatever it is true, then the statement is executed. If this condition false, then the program skips this statement and jump to following statement. So we express a condition using C's relational operators, and the relational operators allow us to compare two values to see whether they are equal to each other, whether one is greater than the other. That means these condition expressions can be a relational one or any comparison that will evaluate to a true or false value. Okay, so we have discussed a lot of operators in C. So whatever the suitable operators can be used for conditional expression can be used here. Now let's take an example. We have to print a statement based on the test expression. Okay, so this is a demonstration code. We need to read a number from a user. Okay, and we need to check whether this number is less than equal to 10 or not. We have printed a message like enter a number less than 10, and we have read the values from the input window by scanf. Okay, and after that there is a if condition. So if num is less than equal to 10, so this is a relational operator that we are comparing whether the number is less than or equal to 10. So if this condition is true, that means if the number is less than or equal to 10, we will print the message what an obedient servant you are. That means we have asked the user to enter the number less than 10 and they have done exactly the same. Now if you want to understand with the block diagram, then this is the equivalent block diagram for this code. The code start print enter a number less than 10. That means this is the first execution for printf. Then input number, and then it is checked that number less than or equal to 10. Okay, so if it is yes, then we have to print what an obedient servant you are. Okay, now let's implement the same code using the code block. Let's move to the code block. Okay, so just go to file, new, empty file. Okay, and just save it to the location that we have created the folder on the desktop. Okay, so don't forget to create new folder for each and every program that we write. Okay, so create a new folder, write if statement. Okay, open this folder and just save here for the C file. Okay, so I have written if underscore dot C. Okay, now click on save. So we have successfully saved this C file. Now we can write our code. So you can add comments like demonstration for if statement. So the very first thing is we have to include the header file. So hash include standard input output dot stdio.h. So we have added the header files. Now we have to go for void main. Okay, created the main function. Next thing is we need to define the variable, let's say int num. Okay, we have to print the message. So printf within inverted commas we have to enter the message. So enter the number less than the message on the next. We have to read, so reading the input value from the user. Okay, I hope it's visible to you, or let me just zoom it for more clear visibility. Okay, so reading the input value from the user. So for that we have scanf. So what type of number we are getting is integer type. So %d, that is format specifier. Next is the number we have to store in this variable, so %num. Okay, now we have done, we have printed the message, we have read the value. Now we need to compare. So again write the comments that testing the numbers. Okay, so for that we'll write if condition num less than equal to, this is the relational operator that we are comparing the number that we have read from the user, which is less than or equal to 10 or not. So if it is less than or equal to 10, we'll print the message, what an obedient servant you are. Okay, so that's it for the code. Okay, now just build the code and you will see in the build log that there are 0 errors and 0 warnings. Okay, so you can directly run from this icon. Okay, so click on run. Now enter the number less than 10. So I'm entering 6. Then I have get this output because 6 is less than 10. Okay, now let's run once again and enter the value 12. You will get no output. Okay, that means the condition is not satisfied. That is, this number 12 is not less than equal to 10. Therefore we don't get any output message. Okay, so I hope concept is clear. If statement is very frequently used in programming. Fine. So that's it for this session. In the next session we'll discuss the if else statement. Okay,